The city's plan to combat homelessness takes center stage this week, but some say that plan has big problems.
Plus, a major announcement when it comes to a new sports arena project.
We're working for you, making headway with the city to get some things fixed at this Mira Mesa playground and park.
Wildlife's all around us if you just look.
And a stroke led to paralysis. And now an Army veteran and father needs your help finding a mobility van.
CBS 8 News Live at 6 starts now.
The city of San Diego has put forward a new solution to end the growing number of people sleeping on the streets, but critics fear it will create more problems. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Carlo Cicchetto.
I'm Marcella Lee. The San Diego City Council is set to vote on this new ordinance tomorrow. But among those criticizing the plan are a former mayor and a former police chief. CBS 8's Steve Price joins us live now from City Hall to explain their concerns. Steve?
And Marcella and Carlo, advocates say for every 10 people we get off our streets, 13 new people become homeless. Well, now city leaders say they have a new plan, but critics fear there just aren't enough shelter beds out there to make that plan work. The proposed ordinance bans homeless encampments within 2 blocks of schools, some parks, and along trolley tracks. It would also make all camping on public property illegal when shelter options are available.
Homelessness in San Diego has reached crisis levels.
Former Mayor Kevin Faulkner says the city's plan doesn't go far enough to solve the problem, and he's not alone.
If their proposal passes as written, this will literally pit street against street and neighborhood against neighborhood throughout the entire city of San Diego.
They say there are not enough shelter beds in the city to handle the spike in our homeless population. So if this ordinance passes, unhoused individuals will simply be pushed to other parts of the city, bringing with them crime, drugs, and trash.
Every day we come to work, it's dangerous, it's scary. I can't keep employees.
They want to see more bridge shelters like the one run by Alpha Project near downtown, which offers beds and services for everyone, including those struggling with addiction.
Unless you have an alternative, a place for people to go, you can't, then you're criminalizing homelessness. But if you've got an option, get help or get in trouble, I've seen that motivation work hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times over again where people have gotten the help.
The city says its plan includes adding hundreds of safe camping sites and dozens of hotel rooms and targets veterans, seniors, youth, and families, with a mayor spokesperson adding, our new comprehensive shelter strategy, which Mayor Gloria is bringing forward tomorrow before the city council, lays out our plans for the short, medium, and long term and demonstrates the diligence and intensity of the city's efforts to address the crisis. And city leaders are bracing for a very long day tomorrow. They are expecting several hours of public testimony on all of this. That said, Carlo and Marcella, they are planning to take a vote tomorrow. Even if it does pass tomorrow, though, it would still have to pass a second vote before it finally goes into effect.
And Steve, if the ordinance passes, so what's the enforcement mechanism here? What if people living on the street just refuse to go into a shelter?
And that's always the big concern, Carlo, because a lot of the folks who are on our streets have addiction problems, and they can't do that if they're inside the shelters. So Mayor Gloria has said in the past that his goal is not to arrest people, but to keep giving them warnings, at least several of them, before they're taken into custody. But what's interesting is that McElroy today said he actually wants people to be arrested because he said if they can go and get some help for 2 or 3 days, they might become clean and at that point realize, you know what, I do need to get into a shelter. So it may actually help them sober up if they got arrested. 2 very different philosophies there.
Yes, very much disparate. Big vote in the city of San Diego tomorrow. We'll be all over that. Steve Price reporting for us. Thanks, Steve. And the homelessness crisis is also taking center stage in Sacramento as lawmakers work to approve a budget ahead of the next fiscal year, which starts July 1st. Our political reporter, Morgan Reiner, is going to have more on that coming up at 6:12.
Police in Tijuana are investigating the discovery of 7 bodies inside a pickup truck with California license plates. Our media partner Televisa is reporting that the bodies were found early this morning. That truck was abandoned at a gas station in the Campestre Murrea neighborhood. The body of a man was found wrapped in a blanket. 6 more bodies were found stuffed in a box in the rear of the truck. The mayor of Tijuana has indicated 2 people have been detained. So far, no other details have been released.
The owner of the Los Angeles Rams and SoFi Stadium is joining the developers of a new sports arena in San Diego.
The Midway Rising project also includes thousands of homes, a hotel, and a park development plan. As CBS 8's David Gottfredson reports, the announcement brings major financial backing to the large-scale redevelopment project.
We are truly excited to join the Dream Team.
The Midway Rising development team just added billionaire Stan Kroenke as its leader. Now there can be little doubt that the financial backing is in place to build a new sports arena, a hotel, and 4,000 housing units in the Midway district.
A modern 16,000-seat arena will carry the legacy of the original sports arena forward.
Jason Gannon represents the Kroenke Group, which currently owns SoFi Stadium and the Los Angeles Rams.
While there's work to be done, we couldn't be more excited for what's in store for San Diego.
Mayor Todd Gloria said he is excited that the Midway Rising project would bring about 2,000 affordable homes to San Diego. But a brand new sports arena could also lead to a yet unnamed new sports franchise, possibly basketball or hockey.
Mr. Kroenke's connections to the world of sports are obviously evident, and to the extent that we have a new arena that will welcome anyone who wants to come to San Diego to be here, our door is always open.
The city recently announced a new Major League Soccer team will be playing at Snapdragon Stadium. And Monday's announcement came with a bit of irony, as Kroenke currently owns the stadium where the Los Angeles Chargers play.
For those of us that are longtime San Diegans, I'm a third-generation San Diegan, what happened when the Spanos family chose to pull up stakes and move out of town is confusing to all of us because San Diego is a good investment. We have a great fan base that was here.
Midway Rising still faces one obstacle, an ongoing lawsuit over the height limit being raised in the Midway area. A trial date for that lawsuit is set for October. At the sports arena, David Gottfredson, CBS 8.
Thanks, David. San Diego Unified teachers are one step closer to getting pay raises. Members of the San Diego Education Association approved a new contract with the district this afternoon. District officials say the contract includes a 15% pay increase, 6 weeks of maternity leave, and maintains fully paid family health care coverage. The contract will also bring on more elementary school counselors and nursing access for students. The District Board of Education will vote to ratify the contract on June 20th.
A Mira Mesa playground will soon have a new sandbox, and missing parts will be replaced. We're working for you and getting answers from the city after viewers contacted us about their local park and playground.
CBS 8's Anna Laurel joins us from Mesa Verde Park. And I understand that after your report last week, the city met with Park and Rec staff to see what needs to get fixed there.
Yeah, they did, you guys. Can you hear all the kids behind me playing? This is a really popular park, even though it is old. The playground was built more than 20 years ago, but it's not slated to be updated or replaced anytime soon. But the city is going to fix some of the issues we brought to its attention.
We're working very hard to ensure that we meet the needs of the community to the extent we can with the budgets, resources that we have.
Andy Field is the director of San Diego's Parks and Recreation. He manages hundreds of maintenance staff assigned to take care of city parks daily. But for the past couple of weeks, I've done stories with viewers unhappy about the condition of their local park.
And I'll show you guys some broken equipment over here.
Last week, we introduced you to Alex Timberman, who lives beside Mesa Verde Park in Mira Mesa.
Every single park seems to have better equipment than the park here.
Alex reached out to CBS 8 because he says he filed numerous complaints about missing playground equipment and a sandbox full of trash, but nothing gets fixed.
I think the city's job is to make things look fair, equal distribution of resources.
And you don't see that.
No, they haven't done anything here.
Today, the Parks and Rec director told us the missing seesaw and ladder on the play structure are both on order. He says they should be installed and ready for play in the next 2 to 3 months. As for the sandbox
does need to be replaced and replenished. That should be done as soon as possible. I'm hoping this week, next week.
If you go down the street again, in a little bit nicer area, Jonas Salk, they got beautiful white sand.
In 2021, a city audit showed a funding disparity that benefited rec centers and parks in wealthier communities. But the city says it's trying to correct that.
We are trying to catch up after years of being disinvested, and that catch up will take some time because we have such a staggeringly huge workload to address.
Field says the city still wants the older, smaller parks to be good for families. And if your park needs work, the city wants to hear from you.
Without having volunteers and hearing feedback from our fellow San Diegans, we can't manage our parks as well as they would like.
So back out here in Mira Mesa, the city is right now focused on a $40 million project to renovate and expand part of the Mira Mesa Community Park. So how does the city pick and choose which parks get those big high-dollar projects? Well, it says it gets it from feedback at those community groups, those recreation groups and town councils. It wants to hear from you. Out here at the Mesa Verde Park, this is Anna Laurel for CBS 8.
Well, definitely a lot of feedback now that we've aired the story, and we thank Alex for reaching out to us. You know, we tell our viewers every day if there's a story you'd like us to look into, email us at workingforyou@cbs8.com, and he did. And it's so great that there's such progress, because I remember the story just last week, Anna. You reported that there is also a homeless encampment beside the playground. What's the city going to do about that?
Yeah, well, and you guys were just doing the report with Steve about that homeless encampment ordinance. That vote, we hope tomorrow. So all these kids are playing just a few yards to my right. There's a little hill slope and it goes down. We can't see them where we're standing. We can see bicycles and the tops of some tents. That's where that homeless encampment is. And the city says it's going to wait to see what that ordinance, that vote is tomorrow, to get some guidance from the city and for Parks and Rec staff and for police.
Yes, because that ordinance does cover encampments that are right near our park, so we'll have to follow that.
That's right.
And good job at least for getting the ball rolling on improvements at Mesa Verde Park, Anna. Here at CBS 8, we do want to help solve problems affecting you and your community. If there's something you'd like us to look into, be like Alex. Email us at workingforyou@cbs8.com.
Glad to see those repairs were made. You know, big renovations, big changes. We understand that might be a little longer, but what's there should work for the kids.
Yes, great.
Still ahead tonight, new evidence that obesity can permanently change your brain.
Plus, how far a daredevil climber made it up a 1,200-foot skyscraper with only his hands and feet before he was arrested.
A lot of cloud cover and even some drizzle to start off the week. We had some weekend rain from an area of low pressure. It's finally moving out, but what does that mean for temperatures in the clouds? All those details are coming up.
And up next, more counties join San Diego in demanding help from the state with the homelessness crisis.